With that said, let's hop over to the state of play that took place on July 8th and give our thoughts on all the announcements there. Got basically 11 different things that kind of went on with the state of play. One thing I will say that was disappointing was there didn't see any more on Kenna Bridge of Spirits, which is set to come out in August. Kind of disappointing we didn't see anything else on that, especially with how close it is.
Yeah.
Didn't see any more on this game called Stray, which is a game where you play as a cat, and I do want to play this game. It's like a cyberpunk-esque game where you play as a cat, and I want to play it. No information on that. That's still set to come out this year. We just don't know when. But with that, let's jump into what we did have announced. So first up, we have Moss Book 2 was announced. We had Arcadegeddon announced, which is a multiplayer game from Predator Hunting Grounds and Friday 13th dev teams. Early access is right now, and it's set to come out on PS5 and PC in 2022. This is something that actually looks pretty entertaining.
You know what's interesting? The group that has done this, is doing this game, and the other games they're playing, they always do solid multiplayer games and get a large player base for a long time, and then they have their niche one that stays around.
Right.
But then they just move on to their other game.
Yep.
So they make fairly entertaining games. It's just they don't ever, so far, they have not become just gigantic player base games.
Right. Yeah, this is a game that actually looked pretty fun. So looking forward to seeing potentially more on that. Like I said, early access is right now, so you can check that out if you want to. We did get to see more on Tribes of Midgar. The first season 1, the Wolf Saga. This game is, of course, set to come out this month on the 27th. And Zach, I know you mentioned to me privately that after you watched this, that you may have been more interested in the game.
Yes, most definitely. After seeing this whole setup, I mean, I'm actually very much more intrigued by it, and I might actually pick it up depending on whether any of our group of people we play with pick it up. Because it might be fun by itself, but I feel like considering you can have up to 10 people
right
in a group would probably be a lot more fun.
Yeah, we maybe see if John and Jimmy want to do it.
Yeah.
All 4 of us do it, talk about it here on the show. That could be something we could look into. Another game that we had announced, at least I think it was announced. This is me being a very terrible host of a podcast. I did not do prior research to see if it was announced in the past, and we just got a new trailer for it. But a game called Fist. It is a side-scroller game. It is set to come out this year in September 7th. And this is a game that I actually really have my eye on. So basically the characters look like Edgy Starfox characters, and that enough makes me here for it. Because Starfox is another one of those Nintendo franchises that I have a lot of love for and would like more content out of it. But I mean, that's like your pro tag is a bunny with a big ass mechanical fist on his back, and it's a side scroller game, just kind of running through it. I mean, like I saw a character that basically looked like Crystal from Star Fox. I'm not joking. Like take Star Fox characters, make them a little bit more edgy in a cyberpunk world, and boom, you got Fist. Did you have any thoughts on Fist?
How would you feel if you just heard someone, Fist, do a corkscrew?
I would lose my shit. I would absolutely lose my shit. That would be amazing. I would love that. This is a game that didn't really catch your eye, though, right?
I mean, I'm not a big fan of 2D platformers. I don't know. They just don't really interest me anymore.
See, I'm with you for the most part, right? There's a couple here and there that are pretty entertaining, a couple here and there that I would like to play. This is one of those few that is the couple here and there. So this is one that I may pick up here on the 7th. We also get to look at Hunter's Arena Legends, which is already on PC. It's leaving its early access on PC. This is set to come out on PS4 and PS5 in August with PlayStation Plus. It's a live service dress up brawler is how it was described when I kind of read this before I watched the trailer, and it basically this is like a knockoff Soul Calibur. That's all it looks like to me.
Yeah, no, they showed this and I thought it was funny. I was like, this has been on PC, and I'm aware that it doesn't have great reviews on PC. So as soon as I saw it was coming to PlayStation, I was just like, PC player base has completely died, hasn't it?
Yep, it is dead. Another thing that we got to see more on is Sifu, which is delayed to 2022. But on the plus side, it still looks great.
I actually know what the heck it is now.
Yeah, and now you're pretty pumped for it.
I mean, yeah, no, it actually looks pretty entertaining. It's a martial arts roguelite from what it looks like. Because before this, all we've gotten is just some guy doing martial arts slowly getting older.
Right.
But now we actually sort of got to see this sort of, I guess, every time he gets his face punched in, he skips a couple years and comes back to fight through it again. It was nice seeing.
Yeah. We also got to see another look at Jet the Far Shore, which didn't really look super entertaining to me.
I'm gonna be honest. I fell asleep during it.
Did you?
I did.
Because I know it was a few minutes worth.
Yeah, no, I sort of was watching it and I sort of just closed my eyes, and by the time I looked back, I was like, oh, it's ending. Okay.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I was gonna, with what would have been next, you might as well just stay to sleep, because the next thing we got to take a look at is the Demon Slayer game, Kami Chronicles. We got to see another trailer for that coming out October 15th. And man, I got to say, it just looks like dog shit. It does not look good. It does not look like a fun game. Like, I mean, if you're a fan of like really like what I'm gonna call cheap ass anime games, then yeah, sure, hit it up. But man, I feel like almost pretty much any anime gets a shit game, except for like Dragon Ball is like really the only one where it's usually pretty much a decent game. Naruto had its good stretch with the 4 Storm games.
Yeah.
The Shinobi Striker is absolute garbage. Blows me away. They're still supporting it, but they're still supporting Jump Force of all things. So, but yeah, this Demon Slayer game just looks like complete dog shit. Like, have no intentions to pick it up personally. We also get to take a look at Lost Judgment gameplay, which is a crime thriller game. Woo! It is a sequel to the 2019 Yakuza spin-off game, just called Judgment. This coming out September 24th, and it is a global launch. This is one that I know you're pumped for.
I'm super hyped for it. I played Judgment. Judgment was fun.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan of Judgment, just the Yakuza series in general. I know you've been playing Like a Dragon a lot recently. That's what it's called, right? Like a Dragon?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Like a Dragon, which is the weird RPG spinoff, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
And I love that series because it's fully aware of itself, because it makes jokes about what the heck are you doing?
Right. And then the next thing that we had before the big closeout, we already knew what the closeout was going to be. We knew it was going to be Deathloop. They already said that up front. We knew that was what was coming. So the final little piece here that we got to see is we got to see more on Death Stranding Director's Cut, which of course was revealed at Summer Game Fest. This is set for September 24th release. It is a $10 upgrade from the PS4. Cross save is supported, has new story missions, combat mechanics, and a new racing mode. And I got to say, Death Stranding is a game that has never piqued my interest, but after seeing everything on the director's cut, might look into picking it up.
Seeing the director's cut trailer is the most I've ever seen of Death Stranding, besides just Rita Norman as carrying a child.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was funny after the director's cut was revealed, everyone on Twitter was like popping off. It's like, holy shit, Death Stranding has actual combat now. It's like, this game actually might be finally good. I don't know. I did think that was kind of interesting that with this director's cut, Kojima's adding so much more gameplay mechanics. You know what I mean? Like, it's understandable to get new story missions, new modes. Like, that's all understandable and good. But the fact that you're getting a lot more gameplay mechanics, I thought was very interesting.
I think Kojima just went too far on the oddball scale for Death Stranding.
I think he did too.
Because it was first game under his own production.
Right.
And Kojima's known for doing weird crap.
Yep.
And I think he just took it and did his thing, and it was just a bit too much. And since it was his production, no one reined him in to add some more gameplay. And then he saw the reaction, like, okay, we can fix it.
Just thinking about, what Death Stranding was, and in terms of, like, I guess, lack of gameplay, it kind of makes me think. It really just reminds me, what did Everwild look like before the reboot?
Right.
It's the first thing I think of is what did Everwild look like? Will we ever get to see it? No, we won't. But I am very curious. And then, of course, what closed out the show was 9 minutes of Deathloop gameplay. This, of course, is set to come out September 14th, 2021. Zach, I know you're really pumped up for Deathloop. What did you think of all the gameplay?
I enjoyed it. I liked it. I really wish I could have seen some more of the abilities and exactly the guns themselves, because the game is supposed to be almost a Twitch shooter-like investigation to find out where all these targets you're supposed to kill are. But the thing that really got me, which is probably going to be a giant trigger for a lot of players, is the fact that one of the targets you got to kill, Julia, is either an AI or player character that shows up on the map at times to end your day.
Just end your day.
Yeah, her goal is to end you, and your goal is to end her. And from my understanding with Deathloop, you only win if you manage to kill all 9 of the targets. She's one of the targets. So you can kill all 8 targets, but if you lose to the AI or player, guess what? Start over.
Yeah, that's rough, man. That's rough. Were you overall impressed, though? I mean, you were disappointed you didn't see a couple things, but as a whole, were you? This is a game that you're planning to pick up. So, I mean, overall, were you impressed?
I mean, was I overly impressed? No, just because Dishonored had a lot of that stuff, and I'm more curious about how easily it flows. If it flows as well as it keeps showing in all these gameplay trailers, I will be happy with it. But if there's a lot of stuttering and whatnot, nah.
Right. Well, I'll be brutally honest. I didn't watch it. Yeah, I didn't watch the 9 minutes of the gameplay, mostly because Deathloop, like everything I've seen up to this point, hasn't interested me.
Yeah.
I did skim through it. a little bit, and still I was hoping it'd gain some interest for me. I still just personally don't have any. There are certain aspects about it that does seem pretty neat. One thing I did think was kind of funny, because I saw a lot of people make jokes about this online, is that, oh look, State of Play coming out, talking about a game from an Xbox studio.
Yep.
All focused here on Deathloop. But I mean, overall, it honestly really wasn't a terrible State of Play. They showed some pretty nice little things there. Like, it's nothing over the top though. We're waiting for Horizon, Forbidden West. We're waiting to hear more on God of War. We're waiting to hear more on this or that or whatever. Which I got to think, like, when is the next State of Play going to be? Are we going to get one potentially next month? We're going to get one in September. And I would imagine the next one that we get, we already had a humongous Horizon-focused ones. I doubt we'll get another one of those.
Yeah, probably not.
So I'm just kind of curious when we'll get the next big State of Play, because as of now, I would still very much safely say, since we don't have a release date for Horizon, Sony's holiday release is still very much in question.
It is.
Nintendo's got kind of hammered out thanks to E3. Xbox still is kind of working through theirs. I mean, we know it's going to be a pretty decent one because it's got Horizon and Halo, but Sony, what you got? Is Horizon set? Are we good? Because I know Herman was talking, it could be pushed back to early next year. So, what do we have going on from Sony?
Apollo Justice trilogy.
I'm sure you would enjoy that.
Do you know what Apollo Justice is?
Nope.
It's Ace Attorney.
God damn it. You and your Ace Attorney.
I can always dream.
Hey, maybe one day. You never know, man. We've seen. Hey, I mean, look, Advance Wars came back. All right,
fair enough.
So you never
Metal Slug. So
yeah, and Metal Slug. So you never know.